to the Hellmouth. Hope everybody's 5x5. This is Major Slayage, Ket Arik, Rewatch, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My name is Eric, and to my right, your left, my bold, beautiful, brilliant, bookish, bird-loving, bodacious, badass bride and co-host. You know her as half the powerhouse duo that is Kim and Ket. Stay alive. Maybe give it up for Ketryn Porter.
I think you meant bride and bow host.
All right, we're going to go back to one. Let's have fun with it this time. No,
Hi, I'm Ketryn Porter, and I'm 100,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it is warm in our garage / makeshift recording studio. We're gonna press on. We live in Southern California, and it's July.
It
is what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
We're here to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2, Episode 5, Reptile Boy.
We're back on track.
We are back on track. I got to admit, though, based on the title, I didn't go in with a lot of confidence. I was thinking this is the second week in a row where we've got this formula that is monster gender.
Would you like to hear? I tease this.
Yeah, you have a thing about the title that you wanted to share.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, does this a lot, but they're not the only ones guilty of it. I can think of one of my other favorite shows that does it. It really bothers me. It's when an insult is just like a description of the circumstances plus boy or girl, like really lame superhero names, basically. Reptile Boy.
Okay.
Or like when they're trying to like insult someone and it'll be like, hey, I don't like this milkshake you made me, milkshake girl. Like where it's just like, it doesn't mean anything. And they do it in Veep one time and it's so jarring, it wakes me up.
So she falls asleep to the show Veep in her sleep headphones a lot of the time.
And the character Kent, like one of the characters makes a joke, like makes fun of Kent or whatever.
What are you, David Coppercock? If you like, humor man.
It wakes me up every time. Like it's such a lazy ass juvenile second grader on the playground insult.
Yeah.
That I just hate it. And I want to I want to protest.
Well, I gotta say, the fact that that's how we got the title of the episode, I thought was a really clever misdirect. I was expecting, and I'm not gonna remember his name, the nice boy, the frat boy. Tom,
I thought his name was Tim, but then in the rewatch, I just saw that it was Tom. So I literally called him Tim Tom in my notes.
Tim Tom. I thought he was going to end up being the reptile boy.
Right.
So it was a nice fake out.
That it was an actual reptile.
And the fact that we did get the title from Buffy calling him that.
Right.
It is a juvenile insult, but it is something Buffy would say.
But it bothers me and I don't like it.
But what'd you think about the rest of it? But other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
It was great. It was fantastic.
This episode was fantastic. So well written. This is a David Greenwald who wrote at least the episode Angel in the first season. He's probably written other stuff. I didn't do a thorough accounting of his writing credits, but he co-created the show Angel as well. Fantastic. The zings were zinging. The banter was bantering. I loved this. It built tension throughout. I felt like I was a pinball zinging around inside of a pinball machine. If you're enjoying what we bring you every week, we ask you go ahead and stake that subscribe button. Click the little thumbs up button. Do like Spike here. And if you're listening to this in a podcast app, write us a review. Give us a 5-star rating. Subscribe there as well. Anything you do, any interaction you have, leave us a comment on YouTube.
Positive ones.
Yeah, really. We don't want your shitty comments.
Yeah.
I thought I did, and then we got a couple, and I was like, actually, no, this is way less fun than I thought it was going to be.
It's not good.
But just anything you can do to interact to let whoever you're getting this from know that you dig it. It just helps them push it out to more people.
Tell 5 friends if you have them.
I don't know if this is the way to get them on our side here. I think we need to assume everyone's got 5 friends. Pick your 5 favorite friends from your multitude of friends.
There we go.
And share this with them. Yeah, if you've got a friend that likes Buffy or a friend you're trying to convince to like Buffy, maybe a friend you've just started watching Buffy with.
Ooh, I like that.
Send them our way. We can invite more people to the party.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon. $5 a month gets you everything we have to offer, which includes...
Me?
Includes Ketryn. For $5 a month, you get her. No, we do a watch along for every episode. And again, I haven't seen most of these first few seasons in many, many years. So I'm essentially watching them for the first time. We react in real time. So you can watch that or you listen to it on a podcast. We do a little show called Trivia Crypt where we do a baby deep dive, a little mini-sode
Into crypts.
about every episode of Buffy, specifically focusing on the crypts featured in the shows. No, just anything either anything weird behind the scenes tidbits or fun facts, or anything that we in our discussion don't know the answer to. We also share your feedback there. So we've got a few patrons and a few YouTube commenters that have left us some comments that have basically written the show for us.
Thank you so much.
So we share their thoughts with you there as well. We also do fun things like live watches of Buffy adjacent media.
Yeah.
So by the time you see this, it will have already happened, but a little inside baseball. We haven't actually done it yet. This is Tuesday. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, we're recording our live watch along of I Know What You Did Last Buffy Summers. We will have been joined by the time you see this by the hilarious Kim Burns, Ketryn's co-host on Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe. Now, one of two things happened. Either it was awesome and we had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Or we ran into technical difficulties and we weren't able to get the show off the ground and we're considering canceling our entire podcast.
Would you put that out there?
I'm choosing to live in the first reality where we had a really good time and everyone had a blast and we can't wait to do the next one. So we're just going to pretend for the rest of the show like that's what happened. And then we can look back on this and realize how good a prediction I made.
Good thing my spell that I did for today brings us blessings for tomorrow. Damn.
Well, you bring that up at a good time. Would you like to bless us with a spell?
I would. So this is another little spell from my personal grimoire. I made this as an elixir for blessings. So I decided to create.
Show them your grimoire. It's cool looking.
Oh.
Look at that shit.
Yeah.
That's legit.
So I decided to make a cocktail out of this simple syrup that I made. So we have sugar, water, obviously. And then I made a simple syrup of the sugar, rosemary, lemon, and ginger. The rosemary symbolizes protection, the lemon is blessings, and the ginger is success and money. So I thought you guys could make a little cocktail yourselves rather than summoning a demonic snake man to give you blessings. You can drink this cocktail instead. Also, the secret ingredient in honor of this episode is no roofies. Cheers.
Cheers. Yakida.
Yakida.
Mm.
You can put
That's
whatever.
delicious. What booze do we have in there?
You can put whatever booze of your choice you would like to add. We added mezcal because that's what we like. So I will have Eric share this on our Patreon.
On the Patreon, yeah, you get the recipe. And again, if you're not on the Patreon, just rewind this and write real fast.
Yeah.
Awesome. You want to get into it?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're watching a movie in Buffy's room, and it was very cute because Buffy and Xander are like both playing with Willow's hair.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
And I thought we're already in such good hands because it would have been very easy to sit them on a couch or have them all three sitting on her bed just staring at the TV. But this extra added element of their coziness, their closeness, this extra business that they have just made them feel like real people.
Yeah.
And it just made the conversation so intimate. We never did each other's show, but it reminded me of like movie nights at my friend's house when I was in high school where we were just so comfortable around each other and would just talk over the whole damn movie.
Braid each other's hair.
And I literally just said we didn't do each other's hair. So, your comprehension, maybe we need to cut you off. No more mezcal. But yeah, it was really fun and charming in a way. And I was immediately sucked in. And I, at this moment, the first few seconds of the episode, I breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, okay, good. This is going to be like good television. This isn't just
you could tell
the schlock fest we got last week.
Only thing I didn't love, and it is a very juvenile way of receiving something new. So I get it. I get that they're high schoolers, but I'm just not a huge fan of like, making fun of a type of music or a type of cultural representation that you like aren't familiar with, and they suggest that like her singing is like, oh, is she dying? Like just because it's not a tonality they're comfortable with. And I mean, they're kids. It's fine. It just wasn't like my favorite.
Yeah.
part
No, I hear
of
you.
the episode.
I do give them credit though for seeking this out
Yeah.
and sticking with it, and then
Fair.
apparently getting so sucked in that they're planning to do another one,
Fair.
perhaps.
Yeah,
so
that's true. So now we get to a significantly less relaxing, endearing scene. We cut to a big old beautiful house that a woman jumps out of the second story window.
it doesn't jump out an open window.
No, she fucking barrels through a window.
She Kool-Aid mans through a pane of glass.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then jumps off the second story balcony. And I was like, that's a big fall.
Yeah.
And she proceeds to immediately run. And all of a sudden she's being chased by some dudes in monk attire. And it doesn't look good.
No, the cinematography is very slasher movie.
Yeah.
She's in the woods. She's keeps looking back over her shoulder while she's being pursued by the friar fucks, I'm calling them.
Friar fucks. She runs through a familiar cemetery where she is caught by someone I can only describe as a 1990s cologne model. He was
giving CK1 vibes.
He wasn't giving he's not dirty enough to be giving CK1. He doesn't look like he just stepped out of a crack den. What he looks like is he like one of those like,
is that what CK1 models look like?
Yeah, heroin chic. CK1 like started the whole heroin chic, very emaciated like models that were like smell like me. He looks like he's coming out of the ocean. I really feel like this guy
was an
from the
actual
90s.
model.
Yeah.
Well, back in that day, I think I only wore Dracar Noir. It was the only cologne I was even familiar with. That and Old Spice were maybe the only colognes I could have named. So.
I don't know why this is. So this is not a dig. I feel like Dracar Noir.
Dracar Noir.
Yeah. Is like the butt of a joke. Like, was it lame to wear that? I feel like that's been like made fun of before.
I feel like it's probably basic.
You're basic.
So she's caught, dragged away.
This guy's giving like Zach Morris hair, like evil Zach Morris.
Yes. I wrote she's caught by a man who's never suffered a consequence in his life. So now we cut to the next day at Sunnydale, and Cordelia is prepped to the heavens. She's got her hair half back. She's wearing pearl earrings. She's wearing a pearl necklace. She's wearing a buttoned up top with a vest over it. I mean, she is prep schooled up.
Yeah.
And it's because
she's on a mission.
She's trying to attract frat boys. And it's working. Uh-oh. And I'm like, why do you want to attract frat boys? But here she is, and she's practicing her flirt laugh. Which is weird because I've heard Cordelia laugh before. She doesn't need a special.
Well, she clearly feels outmatched. She's trying to upgrade. She tells whatever girl she's talking to that there's no comparing college guys to high school guys. So this might be her first foray into older men.
Sure.
So she feels a little out of her depth. So she needs a cheat sheet. She needs a Cliff's Notes. She needs to visit Pickup Artist Mystery with his Mad Hatter hat and skiing goggles. And
I was so fully like the age that I was when mystery was a thing. God, that was such a tragic, horrible time in every girl's life in her early 20s that we had to endure. What was the fucking book called by Neil Strauss?
The Game.
The Game. And then the show was like the Pickup Artists.
Right.
God, okay, we can't.
How many times did you get approached in bars by guys trying to do the game on you?
I mean, I think that's the thing that was so ridiculous about this time period was like girls were literally like reading the book to be like, they're just following a script. Like nobody was like putting their own twist on it. Every girl in every bar was being approached by like,
hey, I'm thinking about buying a present for my sister. Should I get her this or that?
Yeah,
like these icebreaker questions or whatever the fuck it was.
And like constant negging. That was the thing. Negging. Ooh. You got a negger. And it's just
what did you call me?
It's just like, it was so prevalent.
Yeah.
It was a cultural phenomenon that I would have loved to have missed me.
Well, because I think, boy, we're getting off track, but I do have a thought about this. And I think that some guys are clueless. They don't know what to say. So giving them a kind of a beat sheet to go through to get that initial conversation going could be helpful. I think at the core of all that pickup artist stuff, there is this version of, you know what, live an awesome life. And then when you talk about your awesome life, you're going to have more fun.
That part.
But a lot of them focused on the negging, which is a dangerous thing to put in the hands of people who don't quite know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
People with no social skills should not be trying to neg people.
And it also I promise we'll move on, but I do think it's relevant to like why this episode was so triggering in a way for like multiple reasons.
Well, we're going to get to Tim Tom in a minute.
Yeah.
And
but it's like, there was also this expectation that like, if, oh, you okay, Ethel? Sorry, Ethel's coughing. There was also this expectation at that time where like, if a guy was running the literal game on you and it didn't work, it was your fault. Like, you were the asshole. It was very much like, I'm running the game on you. Like, why aren't you responding properly? And it's because there's literally a book out that we're all reading, and you're like going into the bathroom and quickly looking through it and then coming out and saying whatever it says in there. Like, it was so aggressive.
Yeah.
I cannot even express to you.
But Cordy seems to be doing the girl version of this because she's got this cheat sheet about how to get a guy interested.
Let's head over to, what did we call her? Buffo. Buffy and Willow is Buffo.
I had one of our YouTube commenters say, what about Buffalo?
Buffalo. I love that. So Buffy had a dream about Angel. And I know what was happening in that dream. Stuff. And she's just like, yeah, I can't stop thinking about him, but like, I can't have a relationship with a vampire. And I'm like, why? Why though?
Well, because she saw the script, and at the top it says Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, I
see.
We call back in the old country a conflict of interest.
She missed that S. She missed the S in front. And she was confused. Like, that's what she signed up for. And then she was like, wait, Slayer? That's not. Anyway. So Xander joins, and he catches some shrapnel from Cordelia. And I'm like, God, can these two just get a room?
Not that it's any of your business, but I happen to be dating a Delta Zeta Kappa.
Oh, an extraterrestrial. So that's how you get a date after you exhausted all the human guys.
They're picking on each other is feeling more and more like flirting with every interaction.
And they gravitate to each other. I think that's also part of it, is like they both seek each other out.
It's a big enough school. They can avoid each other most of the time.
Yeah.
There's times when they can't, if they're doing Scooby business and Cordelia's involved, but they don't have to talk in the halls.
No, they don't.
They want to talk in the halls.
So, Buffy's supposed to go meet Giles, of course. She also unfortunately is wearing my Nope outfit. I booted this outfit.
Yeah, is this your worst outfit, or is something you can talk about? Okay, so you'll go into detail later.
And she goes in to the library, and Giles is like, listen, I know, he has a great line that's like, I know that the paranormal has been more normal and less para, but that doesn't mean you get to slack off on your training.
Right.
And the thing is I agree with Giles. I actually feel like when things are chill is kind of when you need to be like putting in the extra work, because you have the time to do it. Much like you don't want to wait to go to therapy when you're like marriage is about to end or you're about to kill yourself. It's like, no, like go, like get the tools ready for when those crises happen.
'Cause you never know when your partner is going to blindside you.
I have a confession.
What's that? I think I know what you're going to say.
I don't like Freddy Krueger. I think he's stupid.
Marriage over. You want to know
how to
ahead of time
that.
how to de-escalate
I
that.
Get it. Yeah.
How to love in spite of that
how are you doing?
Major character flaw.
By the way, how are you doing?
I think I'm still tender, but I'm healing. And I think we're going to be okay because I put in the work ahead of time.
Good. I'm glad. Giles truly doesn't believe in work-life balance, though, and I do criticize him for that because she does need a break. Like, she can't just be going to school and training and then patrolling at night. Like, I'm like, let the girl sleep. Let the
Right.
girl, like, it actually is literally too much.
And she needs to blow off steam.
Yeah. But she uses one of my favorite moves, Buffy does, and she pouts.
World-class black belt in pouting over here.
So they're fighting. No, they're not fighting in the library yet. Well, she's pouting, and then
she does pin his arm behind his back.
Oh, she does pin his arm behind
He goes,
his back.
he's like, "You're slacking. Would you even be ready for this?" And he does some,
And she's like, "I was ready 25 minutes ago. I was ready before I woke up this morning for that half-assed
right
fake attack."
Which made me think, how valuable is this training if she's fighting Giles, who we've seen in several scenes? She can just put him away with one hand tied behind her back.
You know, I've thought about that.
I feel like he should have gone out and found a cage fighter, paid him $40 to let Buffy train with someone who's actually got some grappling skills.
Yeah, I have thought about that. Here's my thought. I wonder if what he perceives he's teaching her is technique, in that he's like, because he's always has different weapons, right? So he's got, like, even in this episode, he's like, here's me double fisting some swords.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
Here's me with a stick. Like, I think he's more just being like introducing her to different weaponry and techniques so that it's not like guerrilla fighting improvisation every time.
Do you feel like there's a Mr. Miyagi thing happening where Mr. Miyagi made him put in the reps till the moves lived in his body?
Yes.
Made him just do thousands of repetitions of all of the moves.
And also that makes a lot of sense because Mr. Miyagi was actually a watcher who trained Slayers before Karate Kid, but he quit for creative differences. Did you know that?
I've not stumbled onto that archive of fan fiction yet, but I'm intrigued.
Mr. Miyagi was an
That's
ex-watcher.
two of my favorite things coming together. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So after school, Buff Xando is out in the courtyard and they see Cordy getting picked up by some college boys. And we recognize the cologne model in the front seat.
Yes.
Cordelia is putting on her best terrible laugh. And the guy sitting in the passenger seat sees Buffy and is like, "Who's your friend?" And Cordelia is like, "I don't know, this bitch that I don't want to hang out with."
Yeah, she's like, "She's not my friend." He's like, "Oh, she's spectacular." And Corey's like, "No, we're more like sisters." Like, she does a quick redirect.
Yeah.
All her pickup artist lessons are clearly taking hold.
Right. So Cordelia pulls Buffy over and she's talking to not Drakkar Noir model, but the one in the passenger seat. And listen, you guys, I am really glad that Eric was not a 20-something girl in the early 2000s because he fell for this guy hook, line, and sinker.
No, but here's what...
And I could see through his like, "Oh, I'm so self-deprecating. I've got this cute banter and I've never met a girl like you before. You're so down to earth, just like me. I don't get along with these." Eric would have been...
Well,
like,
first of all,
absolutely...
those were teenage girls. They weren't in their 20s.
He was...
But here's what I'll say. Here's why I liked this meet cute. So many good things happening in the scene. One,
also, you just burned yourself. Yes, they were teenagers. You fell for him like a teenage girl.
No, this is a reaction to really good writing, and here's why. A lot of times in this show, in the first season, and I would say, last episode even, the guest stars are written as non-player characters. They are just there to give exposition or say the thing that needs to happen for the plot to move forward. They're not speaking with any kind of wit or charm or cleverness. And so what they did right in this episode is they wrote a guest star to the same caliber as the main cast. So they made him interesting, because here's what it is. As we're watching this, we know not to trust this guy. We've seen television before. We know this guy's bad news. He comes off nice. So right away, our spidey sense goes off.
Yeah.
But in order for us to
Mine more than his.
But in order for us to go on the ride, we have to find it believable that Buffy would fall for him.
Fair.
And so they wrote him in a way where we could go, I get exactly why Buffy is charmed by this guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to what it felt like happened a lot in the first season and the last episode I would throw in there as well, is the character is bad news. There's no twist. There's no subversion. And then we go, why the fuck would Buffy go with this guy who's obviously a bad guy?
Yeah.
So I wasn't swooning because I was into him. I thought he was written in a way that made it believable that Buffy was into him.
Yes. And also, I want to somehow go back and reference this right now for an episode in season 4, I believe.
Hop in the DeLorean.
Where we learn that, like, this is Buffy's kryptonite. This type of guy that, like, is actually very good at the game, but is still gaming her. She absolutely falls for this hook, line, and sinker. And I can honestly say that not only would I have been the friend that would be like, don't fall for this bullshit, but I was the friend in my 20s who said, don't fall for this bullshit. And she falls for it.
And that's a role that is taken up by Xander in this scene, who, even though he's not addressing her directly, he's giving voice to all the thoughts you were having as you were watching it.
So he invites her to a frat party and she's like, no, I'm involved with someone. The conversation is interrupted because Giles comes out and taps his watch and he's like, you're late for fighting school. And so she runs along.
Xander dressed like a clown in this scene. We'll go into more detail later.
In the library, Giles is pretending to train Buffy, but absolutely getting housed. And this is where I was like, Ripper's on vacation. Like,
housed?
Ripper,
That's not a phrase I've heard. I love that.
You keep using this word jabroni, and it's awesome.
I can't figure out what it means, but I know from the context exactly what you're saying. I love that.
Yeah. So Ripper's on vacation. He's nowhere to be found. And this is actually, I read this in, I probably should have saved this for Trivia Crypt, but whatever. I happened to read that this is the first time that the show refers to patrolling as opposed to hunting. And it's also the first time that Buffy is expected to go patrol for no particular reason.
Oh, just to kind of be out like a cop on the beat rather than hunting for a specific thing or waiting for a specific vampire. Interesting.
Yeah. So now she's patrolling in the cemetery and she finds a bracelet that's like broken in half. And the letters on the back half of the bracelet are ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yes.
And an angel appears and he says that he could smell the blood on it despite there not being any like visible.
He's smelling microscopic cells of blood, which I'm going to go
Does that bother
there.
you?
No, but that's going to be tough when they're dating if he can smell blood.
Why? Because
once a month she's going to have a lot of blood coming out of her.
Yeah, so he'll just know to not be a fucking asshole. That's I frankly, I'd love it if you could smell when you should not be a fucking asshole.
Believe me, I can smell it metaphorically. I can metaphorically smell the blood once a month.
Yeah. So they're just having this very juvenile fight of like, we're both super into each other, but Angel is like,
it's going to get bad.
It's going to end badly. And Buffy is like, but you're so hot and I don't care. And I get it. Like sometimes you got to make bad choices. You know what I mean? And she does have one of, I think, both of our favorite lines, but I didn't use it as my favorite line.
It's not my favorite line. It was in the running.
It was so exactly how it feels to be 16 and like madly in love with someone or like thinking you're madly in love with someone, where she says, when you kiss me, I want to die.
Overly dramatic. It's romantic. It's poetic.
Yeah. She literally runs away. And the next day, Cordy is really trying to convince Buffy to come to the frat party with her and has just like a slew of incredible lines. Like she just absolutely slays. Buffy is not the slayer
Yeah.
in this scene. Cordelia is the slayer.
My face hurt from smiling watching Charisma Carpenter just knock it out of the park every time she spoke.
It's so great.
And it makes an episode like last week's unforgivable when they squander her.
Yeah.
Because she's so good.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff you can do with that character, and this episode really nails it.
And she's so great in this scene. It's not even like as good as the very next scene we see her in. So we'll get to that in a second. So let's go see what these college boys are doing, shall we? This particular frat does some hazing and also makes you pay homage to some entity by the name of Makita, which is actually what the power tool company was named after. They're carving symbols into people's chests and being like, blood oath, do what I say, lots of riches.
Cult shit.
Oh, yeah. And then when they're finished, Mr. Cologne commercial models like, brewski time. And we see that the girl that was running away from them in the very beginning is chained to the wall.
In some like old-timey medieval shackles.
Yeah. Cut to Buffy telling Willow that she is in fact going to go to the frat party because she just needs to scrub Angel from her memory.
I'm gonna wash that vamp right out of my hair.
Willow is such a great friend. Like, she's so supportive, but also like very apprehensive in a way that, God, I just love. I think Willow might be one of my like favorite characters on television of all time.
I think that's fair. And I can see a lot of reasons why you would say that.
Why?
Well, later Willow becomes a witch.
Yeah.
So you guys have that.
Mm-hmm.
Broomsticks before dicks.
Right.
She's quirky. She marches to her own drummer. She's kind.
She's much more kind than me.
Right, but I
For
can see
sure.
why that's appealing to you.
That's fair. And Eric is the kindest person I know, so that checks out.
Am I your Willow?
Are you my Willow? No.
No.
But
Who-
you're not. It's interesting because it's like, you're not my Xander by any chance, by any stretch of the imagination. But like, you're also not Angel.
Well,
You're not Spike. You're not Riley. Like, you are your own. You're an Eric.
His own thing.
Yeah. Obviously, Xander is also being Xandery and jealous. But in this context, I'm like, no, listen to Xander. Like,
Right.
he knows these guys. And I'm just realizing this in real fucking time.
Okay.
That this is actually where Xander would be the expert on who these fucking dudes are. Because while they're running game on chicks and presenting their best selves, their most layable self to these chicks,
Mhm.
Xander is the one who's been in the proverbial locker room with these dudes his whole life.
Fair. He's heard.
Oh, it's not her arm I'm looking to be on.
We talked about this briefly in the watch along. You question his motives, but at the end of the day, the result is the same. And I do think Xander is protective of. We've seen him be very protective of Willow in the past. I think he's protective of Buffy.
Well, and me questioning his motives is because that's what he set himself up for. Like, we'd be, I'd be.
He doesn't get
we'd
the benefit
all-
of the doubt.
Exactly. So it's like we do have to kind of like backtrack and be like, well, I guess he's right in this instance. He's so rarely, you know what I mean? They're practicing in the library. Oh no. It's just Giles practicing in the library. And once again, if you're wondering if Ripper is back from vacation, he's not. He's taking an extended holiday,
Because
if you will.
Giles is in the library by himself doing his best Star Wars kid. Just
Was so embarrassing. Like, I was embarrassed on like multiple levels. Like, I was embarrassed within the show. I was embarrassed as an observer of the show. I was embarrassed as Giles. I was embarrassed as Anthony Head. I was so embarrassed.
and they
so he's
walk
caught.
in on him in his most embarrassing moment. Like,
Yeah.
he would have been less embarrassed if he had his pants down.
Right. Yeah. So they come in, they show him the bracelet, which leads all of them to be like, all right, Buffy, you need to patrol. Xander also has a vested interest in her patrolling so that she doesn't go to the frat party. And Buffy is like, I can't. My mom is sick.
And she does a tell. She goes,
To be truthful,
dot.
Uh-huh.
Red flag.
Mm-hmm.
anytime anyone needs to point out that they're being truthful, you can disregard the veracity of anything in the next few sentences.
Yeah. So Giles is immediately like, oh, of course. And Willow, you can tell her head is about to explode. Like, she's so upset that Buffy lied to Giles, of all people, and they're scolding her for it when they leave. And Buffy does make the good point where she shouldn't have lied, but she does make the good point of like, I literally am a slayer and a student 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I have to be secretive about it, which also takes bandwidth.
Right.
And she's like, I need to be allowed to go fuck up a little bit.
Although I did think what she said here was a little fucked up, because she says, I need to have fun. Like, we've seen her watching Indian movies with her friends. She sits at the Bronze with her friends. She's like, I'm entitled to have a little bit of fun. It's like, what? It's not fun hanging out with us?
Fuck my drag, right?
Well, she adds insult to injury, and this I think was one example of the ping-ponging that you liked in this episode, because she goes from, I need to just like kick back and have some fun, to Cordelia giving her like a regimented list of do's and don'ts.
Yes.
She is so talented.
Yes.
Because another thing that she does that's really difficult to do, a lot of people can play this like mean girl but charismatic, no pun intended, charisma, no pun intended, character. You know, I'm thinking like someone like Renee Rapp from Mean Girls, you know. But what charisma adds to that is like heart and vulnerability that is just sprinkled like garnish on every scene, even the ones where she's being a wretched bitch.
We've said that since the pilot, where based on the way Cordelia is written, we should hate her.
Yeah.
And we cannot get enough, and we cannot wait for her to come back on the scene. And we can't wait for her to say mean, fucked up stuff to people, because there is that heart. There is that core.
Yeah.
There is something about her that there's a charm that kind of colors the proceedings.
And and it's very apparent in this episode, there's a survivalist in her, where she is like, and she says it in the Invisible Girl episode, where she's like, better to be lonely with lots of people around you, I'm paraphrasing, than lonely all by yourself. So like, we are noticing that like she feels that this is how she has to survive.
Right.
And she also is acclimating to, okay, I need to ingratiate myself to these powerful figures, these people that are going to be able to keep me safe and stable.
Well,
That's why she's pursuing these rich frat boys.
We know that she comes from money because her parents vacation in Tuscany and all this. She's probably got an obligation to marry well.
Yeah.
So there's a pressure.
Yeah.
She can't marry a Xander.
Yeah.
She can't just marry for love. And so you'd ask her, like, why does she want to date frat guys? Well, it's because she's got to lock in all that security, all that stuff. She's got to take care of that.
Buffy's going to go to the party. Xander decides that he has to go protect her. He's definitely coming at it from a place of like, I know that they make victims of women.
And they have all of the drive, right? All of the hormones that he has in himself. But they also have money, power, privilege, the means to satiate them. And I think, as you pointed out, perhaps earlier this episode or the watch along, we just did the watch along, so I can't remember where you said it. People who've never faced consequences. And that builds a sociopathy into people. So it's like, I know how horny I am, how much I want to be around women. I'm powerless to do anything about it. These guys have power and they've never been told no.
Yeah.
That's a fucking like super dangerous combination.
Yeah. Cordy and Buffy pull up to the frat party.
They don't just pull up. Cordelia slams into the car in front of her. Such a fun quirk.
I vaguely remember some sort of dig about my driving, you being attracted to brunettes who can't drive.
I don't think that sounds like a compliment to me. That doesn't sound like a dig.
But also, I can drive.
In the UK, you're a great driver. In America,
you yourself have said that stereotype about me is outdated.
It's been a while since you've dinged anything up. Although the car I bought you in 2020, It's got lots of scuffs and scrapes.
How do you even know they were all mine? How do you know that wasn't done? Actually, some of those fucking scrapes are ones that I didn't do. They were ones our fucking neighbor did. And remember, I had a note on my car and they were like, I'm so sorry I backed into your car. And I was like, honestly, don't worry about it. It's just a car. It's just aesthetics. No big deal. So some of those dings aren't fucking me. Some of those dings are proof of me being a really great person.
I don't think that's what that means at all.
I can show you the ding.
No, some of the dings are not you. Who's responsible for the rest of the dings?
The ding fairy. They go into the party. Richard Anderson is the cologne model's name. And he hands them both a drink.
Oh, there's something really funny that happens here too. When Cordelia is reading Buffy the Riot Act about the do's and don'ts of going to this party, she says, don't wear chiffon, don't wear this, don't wear black.
Yeah.
And when we see Buffy at the party, she's in a little black dress. And I just thought that was such a fuck you to Cordelia.
Yeah.
That's not a thing, and you're not the boss of me.
She looked great, by the way. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. But also I feel like Cordelia was like, I'll let this one slide because look at me.
Yeah, she's in a powder blue, like silk mandarin collar dress that just looks phenomenal.
Yeah, she looks great. And I feel like when Buffy got into the car with that black dress, she was like, you're lucky I look so good. So Richard Anderson hands them both a drink and makes a dig when Buffy doesn't drink it about like, oh yeah, when I was your age, I didn't like doing grown-up things either. I was like, fuck you, dude. Xander, as promised, is climbing in the window and he grabs a drink, starts mingling.
And he looks good. He's wearing a polo and khakis. He's got his hair like combed as opposed to the sort of tousled bedhead he normally has.
Yeah.
And he's pulling it off. I think he looks dashing.
I felt triggered. So Xander climbs in the window, blah, blah, blah. Buffy's standing alone. And then this guy like toasts her from across the room.
He's doing the Leo Great Gatsby.
In the Great Gatsby. Yeah. But then he's like pushed out of the way by some drunk guy who tries to like dance up to her. And Buffy is saved by
Tim Tom.
I wrote Tim, or whatever. So Tim Tom. And they're slow dancing. And he's doing the whole like the bantery self-deprecating thing, which I'm just like, I'm on to, but Eric fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Like, luckily I was there to like throw a life ring to him and be like, come on back. I know.
But you don't think 16-year-old you would have been sucked in by that? Jaded, let's say mid-30s you. Hip to that game, but 20 years prior?
16-year-old me would have fallen for it, yes.
Right.
You're right. 16-year-old me. 20s me, I can say I had figured it out.
Right.
By that point. She's super into this. Xander is eating all the crab legs. And
he's also making time with some girls. And he's doing the shtick and puppetry. And he's
honestly probably because these girls are like every other guy is like a cookie cutter of the same thing. And Xander's like being fucking weird and silly.
He's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, truly.
Did Mystery tell you to do puppetry for girls? We have to get into maybe he's on chapter 9 of the game.
Do you think Mystery's okay? What do you think he's doing these days?
I
don't know how you come out of that.
Because he's got to be in his 50s now. And I think I saw online that he's divorced and he's got a kid, so he's like splitting time with his.
The game ends, huh? I'm gonna request a trivia crypt
about what's Mystery up to.
What's Mystery up to these days?
All right.
Probably because Xander is making time with some hot chicks. He's spotted by the dudes as competition. They realize they don't recognize him and they capture him as a pledge.
And we've seen what becomes a pledges already because we see another frail, nerdy kid in a French maid outfit with
and
a
there's
sign
several
that
of
says
them. I think you
pledge.
missed this. All of
the servers are
servers
cross-dressing nerds.
Pledges. Yeah. And also, like, not to be a downer, but like we also know that in real life, pledges die, like
from shenanigans
on the reg. Buffy then goes outside to get some air. And she steps on a piece of broken glass that the frat guys clearly forgot to clean up after that chick Kool-Aid manned through the window.
And we see Detective Columbuff is on the case.
And Tim Tom finds her, and they're talking, but then fucking cologne model comes out and hands her a drink, and Buffy you can see this flip switch in her head where she's like, all right, I'm going to immerse myself in this evening. And so she downs her cocktail.
And you wanted to just be like, slow motion, no, Buffy, don't. Like, I'm screaming at the TV, don't drink that. I'm trying to knock the glass out of her hand. I'm surprised this went there. I think it's relevant. I think it's useful. I think it was an important message to get young audiences to be aware of, like, don't take drinks from strangers at a frat party. Like, there's so many, but it was uncomfortable and it was dark, and it was like, this is a little too, like, monsters are one thing, human monsters, and I think Giles made this point in an earlier episode. Demons
are easy to
they're evil, and we get them
out.
When people are evil, it's so fucking disturbing.
It's this episode was quite literally triggering on a lot of levels. My spidey sense is going off, where it's like, if you're in that situation, I can't speak to, how it feels as a male presenting person in the world to like feel danger, but like there is something scary about that moment as a woman, where it's like you feel this little pinprick in the back of your head of like something feels dangerous, but there's nothing about the surface of what you're experiencing that you can say danger, danger, danger. Like, it just is a feeling that you have, and learning to navigate that is such a rite of passage that I wish no woman actually had to figure out.
There's an interesting book, and again, I said at the beginning of this show that everything I say is wrong, so I might mischaracterize what the point of this book is, but my recollection of it's called The Gift of Fear.
Mm.
And I believe part of the conversation in this book is people who have been attacked, victimized, if they think back to what happened, what led up to the moment, they did have some kind of sense of danger, and society has kind of talked them into ignoring that.
Yep.
And that, like, if I had
especially women,
just listened to my intuition, and specifically women, if I had just listened to my intuition, I would have known, but you can't connect all the dots in the moment. And
and what's so interesting is like the very thing that you have said to me, that my dad has said to me, that like through no purposeful choice of my own, I have been told that I do tend to move through my world
with an unfuck with ability.
Yes.
That's how I would describe it.
But I didn't consciously make that decision. And if I'm being honest, that very characteristic, more often I was told that made me unacceptably unapproachable, or angry, or a bitch, or overreacting, or not polite, or all of those things, when in fact it's usually just me responding to what is, but that is a characteristic that women specifically are told, tamp that down, your job is to be polite, and then guess what happens.
Yeah.
So it's this episode is, that's why I love this show.
Yeah,
because we're watching a show about vampire slayers, but like it really is hitting on the struggle because also Buffy is this woman with superpowers.
She is literally unfuckwithable.
Yes.
But society is telling her the entire time.
You're not. Yeah. And she laments it. She's like, I just want to be a normal girl. What is a normal girl? A girl, like, it's just, woof, boy.
Because what's great about this show at its best, and we're getting a taste of that here, is the monsters are a metaphor for the travails of being a teenager, of high school life. And sometimes those are metaphors for young love or whatever. But in this case, like I said, the human monsters, like we don't actually meet the monster in this until the very, very end of the episode.
Yeah.
So I feel like this,
in my opinion, we've already met them and we just don't
yes.
know. We don't, but like, I think that's the thing is like the monster that happens at the end isn't even the fucking problem.
Right. That's the window dressing.
Back in the library, Jillo is trying to figure out where the bracelet came from. Willow realizes that she recognizes it as Kent Preparatory. So another, prep school where they all wear these little ID bracelets.
Is that a thing? Where you would wear a bracelet with the name of your school on it?
I don't know of a specific example, but it didn't ring untrue to me.
It didn't seem crazy to me, but I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I can see St. Paul's doing some kind of bullshit like that. Yeah. So they realized that, and then they put it together with a missing girl. Cut to Xander being hazed. They put a bra and lipstick on him because what better way to humiliate a man than to put him into the position of a woman? No big deal. So and this again, I say it every time. We're gonna call Xander out for every time he's a fucking loser. But I'm also gonna point out when the boy has been bullied and continues to be bullied. And we see him and it's like, we're meant to laugh at his humiliation because it's a TV show. But if you really, really, really put yourself, and I almost feel bad being like, put yourself there. This is true. Like it like chokes me up if you like, it's so humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
And for like a 16-year-old boy to have to process that level of humiliation, it's just not.
And I think that
and fear, because it's not just humiliation. You even said, you were like, why is he going along with it? Like he's dancing around and it's like he's scared.
Right. And I said, oh my, are you okay?
Yeah, it's just like, it's heartbreaking.
I think another testament to Xander's character, though, is that at the end of this, it would have been completely understandable if he ran home and cried into his pillow.
Yeah.
Or ran home and trashed his room.
Yeah.
Like Charles Foster Kane.
Yeah.
But instead, what he does is he sees that his friends are still there and he gears up to go face the people that did this to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because none of that matters if his friends are in trouble.
Yeah. I think we're hitting on like why I will always kind of be in Xander's court, even when he is objectively making wrong decisions.
Well, it's interesting too, because this is such a popular topic in the Reddit forums and online community and discussions around this show, is that how just fucking toxic and terrible and awful Xander is. I'm actually let down by the level of toxicity of Xander based on the hype. Again, I'm revisiting these episodes with fresh eyes after many years, 10 years or more of watching these first few seasons without really remembering a lot of what's happening. He's gross. He's creepy. He's inappropriate. He's given
immature.
incel vibes.
Yeah.
But the level of hate he gets, the level of vitriol, the level of the lack of grace and lack of forgiveness that this character is treated with by a huge chunk of the fandom at this point feels outsized to me based on what he's actually done. I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying
no, not
boys
at all.
will be boys.
I'm not either.
He's a shithead. He's inappropriate. He's a pest.
Yeah.
He badgers Buffy. He doesn't observe boundaries.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things wrong. He's also a 16-year-old boy whose best friend is a woman who's smarter than him, and his other best friend is a woman who's stronger than him, in a world that makes him feel like shit because he's not strong enough or smart enough, and is abused and neglected by his parents. And I think with the hand he's been dealt
and bullied at school,
the fact that he continues to show up in the ways that he does, to be gallant when he can, to rise to the challenge when it really matters, he fucking shows up.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's problematic. He's not perfect. He is the avatar of the show creator who
That's
wants
what I was
to-
gonna say.
who wants to present this idealized version of what he was as a teenager.
I think a lot of people,
They're mad at Tox.
they're mad at Tox.
and not Xander.
And because Tox said Xander's my avatar, or just didn't deny that Xander was his avatar, people are putting a lot of future behavior on Xander,
Yeah.
knowing, so like, but don't worry, like this, I'm not a Xander apologist. We are going to continue to be like, not acceptable. Go to therapy, learn your lesson. You're not entitled.
Leave Buffy alone.
Women don't, leave Buffy alone. Women don't owe you anything, like blah, blah, blah. But like, that can't happen in a vacuum.
Right.
Men are a victim of the patriarchy too. Xander's a prime example of that. So, all right. It's going to be a long episode. Buckle up. So Buffy is drugged. She's stumbling in a way after one drink that isn't,
She's not a lightweight.
This is like your body's motor skills have been ripped from you.
Right.
Not, I have had an accumulation of alcohol in my system.
Well, yeah, and we also know, because we live in the world,
Yeah.
we know exactly what this is. The second they hand her that drink,
Yeah.
we know where this is headed.
So she finds a bedroom to lay down to make the room stop spinning, and in comes Richard Anderson, and he gets immediately predatory with the passed out Buffy, and she's saved by Tim Tom, who pushes Richard Anderson off of her and is like, get off her. She's not here for your pleasure. And we're like, oh, Tim Tom. And then he's like, she's here for the one we serve. And we're like, all right, well.
Yeah. And it was at this point that I started to think, we're pretty deep into this episode and we have not met the reptile boy yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it's Tim Tom. It's the nice kid. And then when he says that, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't the reptile boy. And
Yeah.
he's yet to be revealed.
Back with Jillo, they realize that like all of this is tied together. Giles obviously wants to call Buffy, and she's like, no, you can't, because Buffy lied. I mean, her mom's sick. Like, it's super awkward. So she's like, call Angel instead. He's the one who maybe he can tell us where he found it. Like, she's trying to play goalie for this. We cut back to Xander, and he gets kicked out. The door is slammed in his face.
Party's over, jerkwater.
Jerk water. Jerk water.
This line
Later, jerk water.
This line
What
may
do you
come up
believe
again.
jerk water is?
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it's really runny semen.
Gross.
It's the water that comes out when you jerk.
So gross. I couldn't even get there. That's so gross. I couldn't even get there.
Well-
That's so disgusting. Jerk water? I don't believe that. I think this
What
guy
do you think it means?
I
You think this guy just made up his own thing?
His own thing.
but like just said two words and tried to make him sound like an insult. I think this jerk
You're
water,
rejecting my hypothesis.
because it almost makes that guy too smart. Like, you almost gave him too much credit by having it mean something. Down in the lair that we have seen once before, we now see that Budelia is chained up next to the girl from the beginning. This poor girl from the beginning is devoid of hope. She's like, don't bother, don't try to get away. And she points out that one of these dudes is different from the rest.
He's nice.
He's nice. He is easily missable in the toxic circle of dudes that sort of present toxically. And she's like, he's the one you have to look out for. So once again, once we get to the episode in season 4 that I'm talking about, Buffy should have known better.
Right. Yeah. This is we're dropping lessons. We're saying the theme in plain English for all of the kids watching at home.
Cordelia cracks me up in this because the way she's scared, it felt like she was like demanding to talk to the manager.
She's carrying out.
It was so funny to me. Like, she was very much like, how dare you, as opposed to frightened, which I just makes me love her even more. So Jill is...
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Jill Gel. See if you can figure it out. Jill Gel.
Jill just says Giles and Angel.
And a third one.
Now, I think you got to put an O on there. It's got to be
Jill Jello.
Jill Jello or Gigello.
Gigello. So Gigello is trying to figure out the mystery. So Angel has come to the library, and Willow at this point has to come clean to Ann Giles that Buffy lied to both of them because Giles won't let her have fun and Angel won't get a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
So this is on you, bro.
And she
says Willow.
unleashes an epic rant.
And if you're yelled at by Willow, goddamn.
Willow, who goes along to get along,
Yeah.
who can find the
If Willow is
upside
pissed
of
at you,
any situation.
you really need to examine your life.
Right.
Xander is, walking away in his underwear, feeling miffed, and then he sees Cordy's license plate, which says, what does it say?
Queen
C.
C. It says anus tart.
Anus tart. Oh my God, if you haven't watched Arrested Development, what are you doing with the last 20 years of your life? Back down in the lair, this is where nice guy, not nice guy is we learn that he's the leader of all this. And it's all the stuff that all of our wealth, all of our possessions, everything that we have we only have it because we fucking make sacrifices of virgins or whatever the fuck to this fucking well dweller that we haven't met yet.
I don't think Snake Man in the well is concerned about virgins.
Yeah, that's true. He may not be. Yeah, you're right. So they start calling Makita, and this giant drill comes up out of with its cord attached down at the bottom. Just kidding. It's a big, giant lizard boy, a reptile boy, if you will. And it was scary and
genuinely
creepy,
scary.
and a version of a reptile boy that I wasn't expecting. Just the makeup of it was a little bit different than what I've seen.
Yeah, no, it was, it was up there with, I think, Moloch in terms of creature design.
Yeah.
Genuinely scary, convincing, compelling makeup. Because he's, like you said, he's like a centaur, but instead of a horse body, he's got a snake body. And the way he moves around is little torsos floating.
Yeah.
While the snake bits are doing the,
he was
doing
creepy.
the worm.
Yeah. So Buffy is trying to rip the chains out of the ceiling to save everybody. And I said, maybe you could do it if you trained a little bit more. But you're going to frat parties. I'm just kidding.
Something tells me whooping Giles' ass in the first 2 seconds
ripping chains out of
the
stone.
library is not. Yeah.
So Jill Jello pulls up to the frat house, and someone in a friar fuck robe comes up. Nope, it's Xander. He stole the robe from the dumpster and is there to help everybody.
He looked in the window
and saw that they were in robes. He's like, oh, I can sneak in if I get one of these robes. So Xangil Gel is all gonna go in to save everybody. So Xander in disguise manages to get in the door when it's answered because he's wearing his friar fuck robe. You brought up a good point.
So Xander knocks on the door with his head down and the robe on. He's like, hey, I got locked out, but I don't want to miss the thing. So they open the door. Xander decks the guy and then instantly he's like, ow, my hand, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. And then Angel files in behind him without being invited into the house. It's a frat house. People live there. What I thought they were going to do is that they were going to put the robe on Angel.
Yeah.
And then when they open the door to let Angel in, that would count as his invitation, similar to something they did in one of the DC animated movies where Superman put on the Batman costume. So people didn't realize it was Superman. And then he was able to kind of surprise them.
Surprise!
That element of surprise. He did exactly that.
Yeah.
So I thought that's where we were going. So yeah, I don't know how Angel got in.
If you guys have a hypothesis, if you can solve that puzzle, how would the mechanism work that Angel was about to get in? That's what I find fun. Let us know what you think. So Buffy's trying to rip the chains out. They all four bust in and
it's clobbering time.
And Xander's really getting some aggression out on these dudes that have bullied him for 16 and a half years, he says. But they're about to eat Cordelia and Buffy downstairs. So Willow is like, there's chains and a basement and a snake person and they're about to get eaten. Help. They all run downstairs to the basement. Buffy finally is able to pull the chains out of the ceiling. And the chains are so cool. Like I would have loved to see her like use them.
I was ready for some Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman whipping with the chains, and we didn't really get that.
She throws Tim Tom over a table, knocks him out, grabs his sword, and just as Reptile Boy is about to eat Cordelia, chops him apart, and no more Lizard Boy, because once again, we know that he's not even the big bad. It's all of the fucking wealthy white dudes that are the big bad.
And how satisfying that Tim Tom didn't get killed and that he's going to face justice.
Yeah. So they grab Tim Tom, and Cordy says, "You guys, I just hate you guys," because every time she's involved with the Scoobs, she's in mortal danger. But I'm like, you were going to go to this frat party anyway.
Right.
Lucky you asked Buffy to come. It's not like you would have been dead. We would have been no more Cordelia.
It would have been you and the girl in the beginning and some random third girl, and you all would have been snake poop.
Yeah. And so she then like grabs Tim Tom by the collar and is like, you're going to go to jail for 15,000 years. And this I loved as well, that like even now Cordelia is like, where's your manager? Like she's insulted. She's not frightened or relieved to be alive. She's insulted. Which I just
never been treated with such disrespect.
It's exactly what it is. Buffy now has to apologize to Giles. But Giles also kind of has his own apology where he's like, you did lie. Don't do that. You did go to a frat party and drink underage. Don't do that. Leave that to me as Ripper in my younger days. But like, I get it, basically, is what he says. Cut to the next night, and Jonathan, someone who just the last episode almost got the life sucked out of him by a mummy, is now getting the life sucked out of him by Cordelia. He's now the muffin fetcher for one Miss Cordelia Chase. And
you said you had a theory about the bronze in the watch along. You said I have a theory about the bronze.
So it is fully a coffee house right now. Right. Even the music in the background is coffee house music. I think every night at the Bronze is a different thing. I think they have coffee house night,
right?
Emo night, study night, fumigation night. I think every night at the Bronze is a new thing. So I don't think everyone is having to multitask every single night. You know, I think that's what I'm choosing to believe. Otherwise, this is an insane business
it's
that they're
chaotic. Yeah.
So Cordelia now says, as I've always said, young men are the only way to go.
Yeah, she's had it with older guys. She's had it with aggressive alpha types.
She wants the minion type.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned that everyone in the frat was sentenced to consecutive life sentences, and a whole bunch of CEOs and powerful men around the world are now all losing their riches. As if their riches were bestowed upon them by some sort of reptilian god of some kind. Angel then comes up, who has also seen the error of his ways, and asks Buffy out for a cup of coffee, much to Xander's chagrin.
But their dynamic is so fun because he's talking. She's like, every conversation got to be about that freak. Hey, Angel, like,
and doesn't backtrack, doesn't backpedal,
because it's set up to be that awkward thing where it's like, oh my god, I said it, and he's right here. He like doesn't give a shit that Angel heard him.
Yeah. So, and then Buffy's like, mic drop. I'm out of here.
Well, what she says is, yeah, maybe sometime we can get coffee.
Yeah.
And now she's back in charge. I think she wants to be pursued. She doesn't want to be the one pursuing.
Yeah.
And I think that the natural order in her mind has been righted.
Yeah.
And there she is. And we've got such, for as many times as this show has dropped us a weird John Tesh or Seventh Heaven music sting to end the episode, this drops some perfectly sublime, emotional 90s alternative music as she's walking away from the table. Mwah.
Love it. So great.
Sunnydale High Yearbook Committee meeting now in session. You have a category you want to do first?
No, whatever you want.
Okay. What do you got for best line?
Best line I have, because it's so Giles, I drive
you too hard because I know what you have to face. From now on, no more pushing, no more prodding. Just an inordinate amount of nudging.
And I
That's-
love that.
With their dynamic and the way he cares for her is turned into such a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
And watching that blossom over the course of these, this isn't just a job to him. It's one of my favorite aspects of the
Yeah.
show. It may be something that didn't occur to me on
Yeah.
my first watch. I actually had 4 contenders
Oh
for
my
this.
heavens.
I don't know if I should go through all of them. Are you curious? Or you only want to hear the
Just give me
winner?
the summary of each one. Like I'll remember. Yeah, just
Oh,
say them all.
just-
Yeah,
okay.
say them all.
So in honorable mention, Cordy saying to Xander about when he's razzing her about dating college guys. She goes, "You'll go to college someday, Xander. I just know your pizza delivery career will take you so many exciting places."
Yep.
Such a good burn. The bronze medal, Giles says, "When you live on top of a mystical convergence, it's only a matter of time before a fresh hell breaks loose." Because combining fresh hell and all hell breaks
Yeah.
loose, I just thought was really good. Silver medal, Buffy, "When you kiss me, I want to die."
Hmm.
And for me, the gold medal winner for best line is Willow's entire speech to Giles and Angel.
That was pretty great. I did have a tie, and I forgot to write it down because I wrote it earlier in the episode. Was when Cordelia says, "In terms of makeup, do your best and keep to the shadows." And I just thought it was like the sickest burn ever.
Because reading is what?
Who'd you have for worst line?
The very, very beginning, the "is she dying?" I think she's singing about the Bollywood movie.
Okay.
I just didn't like it.
We've talked about this already, but when they kick Xander out after the frat party and the guy goes, "Party's over, jerk water."
Jerk water. Or is that the best line?
It cracked me up, but it's
It's
scrutable. and
jerk water.
it's
Yeah,
dumb.
So crazy.
Who'd you have for best dressed?
Buffy's LBD. Buffy's little black dress.
She looked fantastic. I've got a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Cordy, red sweater vest, shades, miniskirt as she's coming out of school
Yep.
before she talks to the frat guys, and Cordy's mint party dress.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Jeff, for worst dressed.
Buffy's lace top black bra and giraffe pants. I think I called it, and I don't know how else to describe it. Poor Aaron Brockovich cosplay. It just wasn't working.
And I've got also beginning of the episode, Xander's oversized green shirt and plaid pajama pants.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Best move was one that I didn't see anywhere other than in my own head. And it's when Buffy pulls the chains out of the ceiling and then uses the chains as some sort of whippy lasso chain situation. But I only got to see that in my head.
It must have been cut for time.
Yeah.
And then for my
What's your
best move.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And for my best move, Xander punches the frat guy and then is like, "Ow!" Like, just thought it was great.
It's good.
Who'd you have for most likely?
I kind of stepped on my own joke. I wish I hadn't, but I had most likely to ask to speak to the manager after almost being murdered. Cordelia.
Mine was most likely to be this show's Gunther, Jonathan.
Gunther. I love that. All right. Well,
All right. So,
that was a very special episode of Buffy.
yeah, a lot of deep stuff, a lot of interesting conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Please check out our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive Maybe, co-starring her and the hilarious Kim Burns, who will be joining us next week for our episode 6 Halloween episode.
Yay!
So be sure and check that out. But they're on social media at KKSam Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday. This show is on social media at Major Slayage Pod. And I think that's all I got. We'll see you next Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. And until then, dust you later.